You made it through week 1. Woohoo! Welcome to week 2. Alright, now I'm not going to make a video like this every week to welcome you guys into the week because, you guys have demasiado videos, demasiado homework, so don't worry. I'm not going to do that every week. However, there are some things that I wanted to talk to you about to, for one thing, congratulate you on, and other things for you to improve. So first, to congratulate you, I've been getting everybody's homework, so that is fantastic. I check it off my list and I have everything that I need. There are a few of you that are confused with a few things, and I'm talking to you about that individually. So if you're someone that I've talked to your parents and hey, they're confused or something like that, don't worry. I know that there's just some confusion going on. But other than that, I've been getting everybody's homework. Now I have been getting it a little bit late. So that's the thing that I can't congratulate you on. Most of you are doing fine, getting it to me right on time, but there's a couple of you who are taking a little bit of advantage. When I say 8 a.m. in the morning the next day that I need everything, I really mean 8 a.m. in the morning. Because usually starting around 8 and then onward, I'm then getting homework and questions for that day's homework, okay? So, for example, Monday. You do your homework on Monday. You need to send me Monday's homework by 8 a.m. on Tuesday. Starting Tuesday, 8 a.m. in the morning, sometimes even earlier than that, I'm getting questions for Tuesday's homework. Not just from you guys, but also from 3rd and 4th grade, because I'm teaching 3rd and 4th grade as well. I have 29 students, including you guys, that I'm teaching, and then I have to keep track of their homework. So it's very important that you're giving me your homework on time. Also, it's very important to label your homework. If you're not labeling your homework the way that I told you to, it's very hard for me to figure out what you're sending me, and you might be getting messages from me, hey, I don't have this from you. And you'll say, but Miss Ashley, I sent that to you. Well, I couldn't tell that's what you sent me because it didn't really look like how I told you it needs to look, and I don't have time to sit there and read through it right now. Mostly what I'm doing right now is just checking off, check, they did it, check, it's done. I am checking some content to make sure you're doing it the right way, make sure it's correct. So don't worry, I am actually looking at that. So, don't think that you can just stop doing your homework and put whatever on the paper. No. But I'm mostly checking it off to see that you did it. And if you don't label it correctly, I can't do that. So, and sometimes I get 5 people sending me 10 pages of homework at a time. That's 50 photos of homework coming into my phone in like 2 minutes. It's a lot, okay? And I have to go back and check it all off. Sometimes I miss things, especially if you're not labeling it correctly. If it's clear and easy for me to see, we're good. I have no problems, okay? So make sure that you have your name on it and that you use the correct heading. So I want to review that with you guys. Get your binder, okay? Everybody has a binder. Go get your binder. Pause the video right now and go get it if you don't have it. And I want you to open up to your page that says subject headings. It looks like this, okay? All right, got that page? Let's go over it. For Bible, there's 2 basic assignments that you're gonna be doing on paper, separate pieces of paper, that you're going to need to do for me with a heading. Your first is just your notes. Those you should be taking daily when you watch the videos. Most of you are doing fine. I don't have problems with most of you, but just remember, you need to put the date, the reference, so that's the chapter, the verses, and the book that we're studying in that particular lesson. And then I give you an example, 24/8/20, the 24th of August, 2020, and then the reference, Luke 24:13-43. That's all you have to do. You can write notes if you want to, that's fine, but this is the minimum that I need to see, plus your name, of course. Then summary, when you're doing your summary, remember you have 1 summary a week. I think coming up soon, you're gonna have a week with no summary because of all the vacation that we have, so woohoo! But you'll have maximum 1 summary a week. And for your Bible summary, you need to put your date and then write that it's your Bible summary and the week that it goes with, because remember, I'm going to be getting usually 2 weeks of homework from you at a time. So I need to make sure I know which summary it is. It's easy for me to see just like that. because remember, I have 29 students that I'm gonna be getting all of their paperwork from. So I need to clearly see what it is I'm looking at. That'll save me a lot of time, okay? You are just one person, and you can save me a lot of time, half an hour, trying to organize my stuff if you make your stuff nice and clear, easy for me to read. That's the biggest reason that I've made these headings for you, that I'm so concerned that you do these headings, so that it's easier for me to keep everything organized. And that'll be less frustration for you too, because you won't have me coming back and asking you, where is this? Because I'll have it and I can see it clearly that it's labeled the right way, okay? So please just work on that, make sure that you're taking care of that. For Algebra 1/2 and Algebra 1, for your math, you always need to label the lesson. Several of you are not labeling your lessons. It's very, very important, especially when I get your homework back. How do I know what lesson I'm looking at? Also, when I get your math corrections, I'm getting math corrections and I'm getting your lesson for the day. And I need to be able to see which one is which. It should be very, very clear for me. So you need to start with the date, of course, and then the lesson, and whichever lesson it is. So, for example, if it's lesson 2, give me the date, lesson 2. Then underneath of that, you'll always start with your practice. So write practice, write practice. Go ahead and write out practice, okay? Don't just write the letters. Tell me that this is practice. Then write your letters and the answers. Then go to your problem set. Write problem set 2, or whatever one it is. If it's lesson 5, problem set 5. Whatever problem set you're doing, write it out. Problem set, whatever. And then do the problems under that. There are some of you who have everything nice and organized. Great, keep it up. If not, please change it this week so that it is better. You are done with your technology notes, so we won't even go over those. For science, this is another one that a lot of you are not doing the right way. Okay, for science, you need to put the date, and you need to put what it is you're doing. If it's a chapter checkup, that means the thing that comes at the very end of the chapter, which is what you have coming up, not this week, but next week, week 3, okay? Coming up in week 3, you're gonna be doing chapter checkups. You need to put CCU and then the number. So if it's the chapter checkup for chapter 4A, you need to put CCU 4A, so I can clearly see what it is. Then under that, you need to put the exercises. So if you're doing CCU 4A exercise B, so put your date, CCU 4A, under that, exercise B, number 1. And then if you need to do exercises B and C. Then after you finish B, write out exercise C. And then do your exercise C. If you're confused about what I'm trying to tell you, please let me know. For the comprehension checks, those you have more often. Those just put CC for comprehension check, and then whatever number it is, 4.1, 4.2, 5.8, whatever it might be. So your date, and then CC, and then the number. If you're not putting that, if you're just putting the date is not enough. I need to see which one you're doing, okay? Because if you just put the date, guess what I have to do? I have to go back, find your homework sheet, hope that you did it on the right day, because what if you did it in the morning instead of the afternoon, whatever the case may be, okay? So make sure that you are labeling those correctly. For history, you still don't have history homework yet. You will have history homework. You won't have your book until I think week 5. So you have a nice break from the book. But once you get to the book and you have to start doing the section reviews, you're going to need to put your date and then the section number, and review. So for example, the 24th of August, 2020, section 1.1 review. So make sure you put that. And then English, most of you guys have been following those pretty well. So just make sure you keep following those headings that I put there in your lesson, okay? So please make sure that you follow those headings. Also, like I said, for the morning, make sure that you're sending your stuff to me by 8 a.m. That also means that your homework is done before the next day. The reason that I have the 8 a.m. homework is more for the 3rd graders that I have than it is for you. Because the 3rd graders, their parents are the ones who are sending me the photos. They aren't sending their own photos to me. They are too young. They don't have their own phones. So their parents are in charge, and they work and they have other responsibilities. So they can't all send it to me that day. Some of them have to send it in the morning, and so they do. You guys, most of you have your own phone. Not all of you, I know that, but most of you have your own phone. So there's no reason for you to be still working on your homework in the morning. If something happens, something comes up, and you can't send me the photos that day, for example, if you can't send me Thursday's homework on Thursday, well then everything should be all done and ready to go, so all you have to do is either take the photos or just send the photos and send them to me Friday morning before 8. And since your homework should be all done, it shouldn't be a problem to get that sent out to me by 8, okay? It's not, that time limit is not so that you can get homework done the next morning. Everything should all be done. Excuse me. And to remind you, if something happens and you can't finish things, talk to me about it, okay? I know life happens. Things come up, emergencies happen. Remember, your job right now, though, is to be a student. So you shouldn't be, excuse me, frog in my throat today. So you shouldn't be working on your housework before you have your schoolwork done. Obviously, you need to obey your parents, but your parents know, and most of your parents that I've talked to have been very supportive. They know that your schoolwork needs to come first, and things that they have you do around the house are normally, for most cases, I know not all, but for most cases, they are secondary. So don't use that as an excuse. Oh, Miss Ashley, I couldn't do my stuff because my mom said I had to do this. Because when I talk to your parents, most of them are like, no, they're supposed to get their homework done first. I know there's exceptions, okay? I'm not saying there aren't. But for the most part, you guys can get your homework done first, and then you do other stuff. Also, really, you shouldn't be on the phone, TikTok, Facebook, texting your friends until your schoolwork is done, okay? I know it's very tempting because you have your phone and that's how you're doing your work. It's tempting to take a break, go do TikTok for a little while, but it's also very easy to get sucked in, and before you know it, you've just spent an hour watching YouTube videos when you could have gotten your homework done. Again, not everybody's doing that, but just to let you know, I know some of you get distracted, so be careful, okay? Don't succumb to that temptation to get distracted by those things. I know it's hard, I know, but you can do it, okay? Trust me, you can do this. Okay, I think that was the big part of not scolding, but the reminders that I have for you. Now, if I don't get my homework done this week, I was very lenient last week. There weren't things that I told you to fix, but this week, if I don't get the things that I told you to fixed, let me try that again. If you don't do it correctly this week, not last week's stuff, but this week, if you don't do it correctly, then I'm going to send you a message, tell you to do it again, and you will get an extra homework assignment, okay? So you have to do your assignment again, and you'll get an extra homework assignment for each time that I have to correct you. So if I have to correct 5 assignments in a day, that means 5 extra homeworks, and you have to redo each one. So make sure that you're doing it correctly. Okay, now on to slightly happier things, homework sheets. There's been a lot of confusion with what you need to do, okay? Unfortunately, I'm not able to be there over your shoulder telling you, okay, look here for this, look here for this. I wish that I could, but I can't. So you guys have to take a little bit of responsibility and make sure that you match what's on your homework sheet to what you're doing. Especially with grammar, there was a lot of confusion. I had a lot of you doing, for example, in your language book, you did pages 14 and 15. But that doesn't match what your homework sheet said. Your homework sheet said, do more practice, page 14 and 15. That was a page in your binder, not in your language book. So if it doesn't match, then that's not the right thing. If you still need help, ask me. I looked at my language book, but that doesn't match. Where am I supposed to look? I got confused, things like that. Read all the instructions. I've tried to make it as easy to find as possible. If I said there's a paper in your binder, that means there's a paper in your binder. Go look for it, go find it. For example, I think I had 4, maybe 5 of you that for the health response, put it on a piece of notebook paper. But in your binder, it says, write a response to this question, and at the very end, use paper in your binder. So that means you needed to look in your binder for that paper. And then you needed to match the paper with the question that was on your homework sheet to what you were supposed to do. If it doesn't match, that means it's not the right thing. So don't do that. Find the right one. You might have to look a little bit, okay? So when you get your second packet on Monday, September 7th, I'm going to try to label things even more, but read what I've labeled, okay? Match it up. Do a little bit of work, okay? You have to use a little bit of your brain to do that. You can do it. You can do it. But you need to actually try to make sure that what you're doing makes sense. I've gotten a lot of questions. Where is this? It's where I told you it would be if you read your homework sheet. So make sure you're reading your homework sheet. Okay? Let's see, what's next? Oh yes, no pen please. Sorry, I know some of you are more used to using pen, but remember, for me, no pen, unless you're using it to decorate. You can use that to decorate, write your headings, that I don't care about. But when you're doing the actual work, whatever work, doesn't matter the subject, whatever work you're doing, do it in pencil, okay? If you want to take your notes in pen, that's fine. I don't care about that. But any assignments that you're going to turn into me, pencil. Only pencil. Because you're going to need to erase many times, things like that. So only pencil on your assignments that you're turning in, okay? Okay, next, let's see what I have on board. Okay, please message me before you call. I have no problem with calls, video calls, all of that. Just message me first to make sure I'm available, because I might be in the middle of a voice message, or maybe I'm in the middle of sending a message to somebody, and if you call me, it cuts off my voice message or a video that I'm trying to do, or whatever message I'm sending right at the moment, which might be urgent. So make sure that you message before you call, just to make sure that I'm available. And if I'm not, I'll tell you, okay, I can call you in 5 minutes, or whatever it might be. Okay, so just message before, just to make sure I'm there. Okay, and the last thing, this is actually, ooh, almost knocked over my camera, because this is exciting. I think you're gonna be really, really happy. Okay, ready, drum roll. Ta-da! For your math homework, starting this week and forward, you do not have to do your problems twice. Yay! Are you cheering? I hope you're cheering at home. Okay, you do not have to do your problems twice. But, okay, big but here, make sure you are checking your work. Okay, you still need to check your work. I still need to see that you're checking your work. But you don't have to do your problems twice. So for example, when you have an equation like this, okay, x plus 3 equals 5, and you go down, you do your work, you get x equals 2. You can't stop there. You need to put x back in place of 2 and make sure that it checks out. That's the biggest thing, okay? So make sure you're checking your work like that. Anytime that you can check it visibly, you need to check it visibly, especially equations, your percent problems, things like that. And I'll try to remind you in your lessons, these kinds of problems are the ones you need to check. But you don't need to do your problems twice. If you can't visibly check it on paper, you do not need to do it 2 times, okay? Just check it in your head, make sure you did it right, okay? Do your best. Also, try to, oops, I lost my train of thought. See, I'm the same, whether it's on virtual classes or whether we're in presence, yeah. All right, okay, so do your best to try to check your work. You can do it in your head, you don't have to do it twice. Make sure you're still checking in the back of the book. I don't want to see any odd problems because you're checking it in the back of your book and you're doing it so you get it right. Okay? All right, I think that's the biggest thing that I need to tell you guys this week. Do not hesitate to ask me any questions. If you feel confused about something, even if after this little talk, this little chat, you still feel confused about something, let me know, okay? I'm here for you. I want to make this as easy to be successful as possible. If you feel like you still need more help on something, just let me know. Also, I'm going to be, as you send out your doctrine presentations, Albert and Diego have both done theirs, so woo, good job, guys. I'm going to send you some pointers, some things that you can improve for the next time so that you know what you did well, what you need to work on, and how you can make it even better. And don't worry, you all will do a great job. And I hope you guys have a great week. Love you.